All right, so get this. You send us a bunch of articles, discussions, all this stuff about something called the dead internet theory.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta say, I was hooked, right? Just the name alone.
Yeah.
But then you actually start looking at the claims, and it's like, hold on a second. Is everything I'm doing online, like, is it all just bots pretending to be people?
It's a question that's been, well, it's been bouncing around some corners of the internet for a while now.
Yes.
But yeah, it does seem like it's, becoming a bigger topic lately.
Which, to be honest, is kind of how it popped up on my radar, You see a crazy headline, you click a thread, next thing you know, you're down this rabbit hole.
All in the rabbit hole. Yep.
So for our listeners who maybe haven't stumbled into this one yet, let's break it down. Dead internet theory. What are we even talking about?
Okay, so at its heart, the theory is basically saying that a huge chunk, maybe even most, of what you see happening online,
Yeah.
it's not coming from actual humans, it's all these AI bots.
Okay.
And we're not just talking about spam bots here.
Right.
These are bots that are, like, sophisticated, creating content that seems totally real, having discussions. You'd think it was a person.
Yeah, and it's not like we haven't all seen those tweets that are like, ugh, I hate texting, and then they go viral, but it's like, wait a minute, everyone's glued to their phone these days.
Exactly.
Or even weirder, that whole thing on Facebook with, like, the AI Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
People posting those pictures, and they look so real.
Hyper-realistic.
Him hanging out with, like, shrimp and stuff. It's like, what is even happening?
It's so strange. But yeah, that's exactly the kind of stuff the theory's pointing at, right?
Yeah.
And it goes beyond just like one weird post here and there.
Okay.
Some people who believe this, they're even saying like whole online communities, even the news, could be mostly bots.
See, now that's where we start to get a little, I don't know, skeptical.
Sure.
Are we really saying the internet, like cat videos and all, is basically what, dead?
Well, the dead part, it's more like a metaphor, right?
Yeah.
It's not like the internet's literally shut down.
Right.
It's more that the feeling of, real people connecting with each other, it's gone. It's been replaced by all these bots.
And this theory actually puts a date on when this all went down, right? Something like 2016, 2017.
Yeah, that time frame seems to be a big one. Some people even link it to like the rise of certain social media or, how fast AI got good.
So we're not saying these are just random bots popping up. There's like a reason behind this.
That's the theory, yeah. Like someone or something is making this happen on purpose.
Okay, now we're getting interesting. So what? Like some evil mastermind is controlling all the bots.
Well, that's where these sources you said, they start to disagree a little.
Okay.
Some say it's governments, others corporations, some say it's like this whole team effort,
Yeah.
And they're using these bots to mess with what we see online, like control the narrative, even change how people vote.
Okay, so this isn't just bots trying to get me to buy something. We're talking about like messing with information on a huge scale. I can see why this caught your attention.
Yeah, and it's important to remember where this whole theory started too. We're not talking like some science paper or a government report. This came from places like 4chan, Agora Road. These are, well...
Let's just say they're known for their unique perspectives.
Exactly. Not exactly known for being the most trustworthy sources.
All right.
But it's not just them anymore, is it? Now you've got articles in The Atlantic about this. Even big YouTubers are making videos.
Exactly. And that's what makes this whole dead internet thing so fascinating, right? It's this fringe idea, but it's like it's leaking into the mainstream. Makes you wonder what's really going on when you go online.
It really does. And the more you think about it, the more you start to see things that, I don't know, maybe they support the theory. Like, you remember that report from a few years back in Perva? They said over half of all web traffic was bots. And that was back in 2016, too. Who knows what it is now?
Exactly. And AI has only gotten like a million times better since then.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's say for a second that a good chunk of what we see online is bots. Is it really that big of a deal? I mean, it's not that different from watching a TV commercial, right? Someone's always trying to sell us something.
That's where it gets kind of creepy, though. It's not just that the bots are there.
Yeah.
It's that they're designed to, like, blend in. They act like real people, so it's almost impossible to know what's real and what's fake.
And that takes us to something you flagged in the doc, like a turning point in all this. ChatGPT. It used to be if you wanted to make fake stuff that looked real, you needed to know code, right? Now it feels like, I don't know, my grandma could start a bot army. Am I being dramatic?
Not really. ChatGPT, it really did change everything. Before, you needed to know how to code. You needed, like, really powerful computers. Now, it's easy. You want a whole blog post about, like, the invention of the spork? boom, done, ChatGPT.
It's true. I remember when it first came out, I was like, okay, it's a chatbot, whatever. But some of these experts, they're saying in a few years, 99% of what we see online could be made by AI.
It's a big claim, for sure. Timothy Shoup,
Yeah.
he's with this think tank in Copenhagen. He's the one who said that. But when you think about it, how much stuff do we read online every day? Articles, posts, even just like reviews for toasters.
Right.
Now imagine almost all of it, not just some spam comments, but like good writing that seems totally human. It's all just AI spitting it out.
Okay, yeah, that's where it gets kind of freaky. And look, I'm not a tech person, but you mentioned these LLMs, these large language models. Explain it to me like I'm 5, a really smart 5-year-old who understands the dead internet theory.
Okay, imagine this 5-year-old has read every book ever, right? And they never stop. They just read and read, figuring out how sentences work, all the little things we do with language. That kid would get really, really good at guessing what comes next in a sentence, even a whole story.
So instead of finishing my sentences, this super reader 5-year-old is out there writing full news articles, like about the dangers of too much AI content.
Exactly. These LLMs, they're trained on tons of tests and code, and they learn the patterns. They don't get it like we do, but they're amazing at copying us. Like your phone can suggest a word. These things can write a whole screenplay.
See, now this is starting to feel less like a theory and more like, well, the future. If these LLMs keep getting better, what chance do we have? How do we even keep the internet human?
$1 million question, right? And honestly, I don't think there's one answer. We need better tech, for sure. Yeah. But also, the people making these AI things, they have to think about the ethics. And we've all got to get better at spotting the fakes.
And this isn't some, like, far-off thing. We're seeing this happen right now.
Oh, absolutely. You mentioned AI pictures going viral, but even Reddit, they've been trying to deal with this forever. Some people there, they hate it, say it ruins the whole point. Others, they love it. Then you've got Elon Musk buying Twitter, freaking out about bots.
Which, let's be real, the number seems to change every other week, depending on what he's saying.
True, but the whole thing just shows how important this is. Bots, they have a huge impact. And now you've got these apps, right? Social AI, things like that. You know what they're for.
Let me guess. Talking to even more bots.
Bingo. People are choosing to do this. It seems weird, but it shows how used to this we are, you know? Predictable, easy, even if it's not real.
Okay, so we've got AI making everything, social media can't control it, and now people are paying to talk to bots. It's like that dead internet theory is happening. But hold on, does any of this prove someone's out there, like, pulling the strings trying to control us? Or is it just, like you said, people using the tools in good ways and bad?
That's the tough part. This theory, it makes sense because a lot of us feel it, you know? Like something's off online. But to say it's all one big plan, that's hard to prove.
So what do we do if even the experts can't tell what's real anymore? What are we supposed to do? I mean, Elon Musk is out there, right, battling the bots. Though I guess, depending which tweet you see, maybe he's not winning that battle.
Right.
But seriously, this dead internet idea, it's fascinating, but kind of creepy too, you know?
Totally. And it makes you think about how we even use the internet.
Yeah.
Like you shared that Reddit thread, the one from, what was it, Our Singularity? Someone asked, when do you just leave?
Oh, that's such a good point, because that gets to the heart of it. Let's say, just for fun, a lot of what we see online, IS fake now. But is it that bad if it's still, like, entertaining? At what point do we say, this is pointless, I'm out?
More and more people are asking that, I think. And that thread you shared, the answers were all over the place, which kind of says it all.
Yeah, what were some of the takes people had?
So you had, like, the hardcore internet people, right? Their solution was to find those smaller groups, harder to get into, like private forums, specific chats, where bots probably wouldn't bother.
It's like that saying, if it's free, you're the product, right?
Yeah.
But now it's like, if you're not really into it, you get the bot experience, I guess.
Yeah, and then others were saying, go back to basics, make your own website, control everything yourself, like the old days.
Now that you mention it, I do miss having a GeoCities page, though mine was mostly just, like, blinking text, I think.
Right. But the point is, you are in control. Nowadays, the stakes are higher, it feels like. Oh, and then there's the people who say, get over it. Technology changes, we'll adjust. So the internet's more AI, maybe that's just how it is. We'll find ways to use it.
So not dead internet, more like internet, but with extra AI friends. Though, I don't know, part of me thinks maybe we are overthinking this. Haven't there always been fakes and scams online, A and D offline? Now they're just fancier.
That's true, and it makes you think about what's really changed. This dead internet theory, maybe it's exaggerated, but it makes us pay attention,
To what you mean?
to what we're actually looking at. We see
Mhm.
so much every day, it's easy to just like absorb it, let some algorithm decide what we think. But this theory, even if it's not all true, it reminds us to like question things, look for the fakes, not just believe everything.
And maybe log off every now and then and, actually talk to a person.
Can't hurt, right?
So, listeners, that's our deep dive into the dead internet theory. It's weird, it's thought-provoking, maybe it's even a little true. What do you think? Let us know. And in the meantime, stay curious, don't believe everything you see online, especially if it involves a celebrity and a suspicious amount of shrimp. Until next time.